What is going on, everybody? It is Luke Beller, and today I thought our topic of discussion would be Aaron Rodgers and whether or not he is the best player in the NFL right now. And I think after this season, it's definitely a lot easier to make the argument that he is the best player now. Lots of people do think he's going to end up winning the MVP, but I thought we would sort of put it up for discussion and sort of go through and look through other players who could potentially be better, because obviously every single person has a different opinion. Probably most Packers fans would say Aaron Rodgers is the best, but you have guys like Chiefs fans, Bills fans who could make the case for Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, whoever, you want to make the case for. And so I'm going to sort of go through that topic in this video, and I'd be curious, as always, to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below, whether you agree that Aaron Rodgers is or whether you think someone else is, and give me the reason for why you believe that, because honestly, I like seeing everyone's opinion. That's a great thing about sports. Everyone has a different opinion, a different reason to back it up, and it's always interesting to see sort of why people think what they think. So first off, when we take a look at Aaron Rodgers, it's sort of crazy to see just how, sort of how well he has done this season and sort of what some people's expectations were for him. I think throughout the entire offseason, I think people in general sort of were looking down on the Packers, even though they were 13-3, partly just because of how he did leave last year's NFC Championship, getting completely blown out by the San Francisco 49ers. So when we take a look at Aaron Rodgers' stats before this 2020 season, I see why some people could have made the case that, Aaron Rodgers was on the decline, because if you sort of take a look at his stat line, he sort of was slowly moving down in some categories, as you can see here. It's a lot of stats, I know, but as you can see, like 2014, 15, 16, you can see his touchdowns, 38, 31, 40, and then obviously 2017, he only played in 7 games, but then 2018 and 2019, 25 touchdowns, 26 touchdowns, so obviously declining in that area. And so I think some people were sort of talking about, that Aaron Rodgers, like they sort of thought he would continue to decline in the 2020 season. But as we can see from his stats in 2020, he basically came in and probably put up probably the best season of his entire career. His 70.7% completion percentage, as you can see, he hasn't hit that mark since 2007, and that year he only had 28 attempts, so I don't know if you can really count that. But look at his completion percentage, his best all time by far. And then looking at his touchdowns as well, 48 touchdowns. He had never gotten more than 45 over here in 2011. So it's crazy to see just how well he did this year. And honestly, I thought that he would improve this season. Just the fact that, the Packers were coming into their second year with Matt LaFleur, it made sense that being in a second year under an offense that he would take another step forward. But honestly, I didn't really see this dominant of a season coming. I thought, obviously anything's possible with Aaron Rodgers. He's such a talented player. But it's been amazing to see just how good he was. And obviously now, looking back at his MVP odds before the season, they were at plus 2,300 if you look at FanDuel, tied for 9th among quarterbacks. And so obviously I wish I would have taken that bet. But, now here we are. It seems that most people believe Rodgers is going to end up winning the MVP. We'll have to see in a couple weeks. And so now moving on to the other players who I think people could make arguments for why possibly they are better. And right now I'm just looking at quarterbacks, just because I feel like quarterbacks are the most important position for a team. Obviously you have to have some other, components, obviously. But I think now in the NFL in 2020, 2021, the quarterback is the most important position. And so then, of course, we have to move on and talk about Patrick Mahomes. So taking a look at his stats for this year, 66.3% completion percentage, 4,740 yards, 38 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, a 108.2 rating. So obviously a great season from Patrick Mahomes. Put up more yards than Aaron Rodgers, not quite as many touchdowns. And so Aaron Rodgers sort of had him beat in that category. And so I think when you take a look at Patrick Mahomes, the fact that the Chiefs went 14-2 this year, and the fact that last year they won the Super Bowl, I see why people could still be making the argument that Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the NFL. Because I think there's sort of two different sides to look at it when you're talking about who is the best right now. You can sort of solely look at stats and just how well the quarterback is playing individually, or you can sort of take a look at the team, how many Super Bowls have they won, all that kind of stuff. Sort of reminds me back in the day when I was in junior high, the conversation at lunch was always, who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? And we would always, talk about that, as we were like 12 and 13 years old. And at that time, LeBron hadn't won a title. I always tried to argue for LeBron. I didn't really have much background in basketball at all, and obviously who knows what I was saying back then. And so I think at that time, with, Jordan having won 6 finals, LeBron having won none at that point, it's sort of hard to make the make the argument that LeBron, is better than Jordan. Some people want to measure in championships. Some people just want to look at the player individually. And so I sort of understand that argument. The fact that Aaron Rodgers, he's won 1 Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes has also won 1 Super Bowl. And then the third guy I want to take a look at is Josh Allen. And it's been crazy just how, sort of how good Josh Allen has been this season. He's really taken a big step forward this year. Taking a look at his stats, 69% completion percentage, 4,544 yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, a 107.2 rating. Obviously a great season overall from Josh Allen. And so I think when we look at these playoffs, we have these 3 quarterbacks still left. Also Tom Brady. We can't forget Tom Brady. Tom Brady's stats, 65.7% completion percentage, 4,633 yards, 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, a 102.2 rating. And so I think when you put all these guys' stats together, you can sort of see, just how efficient Aaron Rodgers was. 48 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, 10 points better, or like 11 or 12 points better in the quarterback rating than the next best guy. And so personally, I'd have to say Aaron Rodgers is the best player right now when you look at his stats and sort of how well he has played this entire season. But those are my thoughts on the situation. I'd be curious to hear in the comments below, sort of how you guys think people should measure greatness. Should it be solely on statistics? Should it be on, Super Bowl wins, Super Bowl MVPs? I'd be curious to hear your guys' thoughts because everyone, of course, has a different opinion. And I think it's great to hear every single person's opinion. So make sure you drop those in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe so you don't miss, upcoming Packers content, NFL content, all that kind of stuff. But that's going to be all for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.